So, and since I have a little bit of extra time, yesterday I did a live stream. It was about I showed an excerpt. I read an excerpt of David Shurter's Confessions of an Antichrist PDF, pages 88 and 89, which I think I sourced in the video. On air of how David, when he was a young man, well, he wasn't as young as I thought he was when I read it. He was 27 years old, how he beat his dog almost to death. And today he did do a video where he does address it. And, we're going to, I'm going to show it. I'm going to show his response.
And then what does Tara Joyce come out with? Something I told Sherilyn Schlechter, my old moderator, who's...
Oh, now he doxed Sherilyn, and I don't know who she is, and I've never spoken to her, David, ever. I don't even know how to get in touch with her. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna add my own face here as I react to him.
Did I attack my puppy 31 years ago? Yes. It was Easter weekend. I know exactly when it happened. It was Easter weekend. Saturday, I had spent all day setting up, serving, tearing down, setting up, serving, tearing down, setting up, serving, tearing down the whole day. And then that night, we were not...
Okay, so I want to just point out a few things that he said here before we go on. It's Easter weekend, which is the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and it's busy during that time. And he's working as a banquet waiter, which he talks about, which this coincides with the excerpt that I read in his book, Confessions of an Antichrist. And he's talking about being a waiter. Okay, and he's like, I had set up down. I was so exhausted. So this is his excuse. Watch. This is his excuse for his reason why it was okay to beat his dog, because he was exhausted from that day. But watch how he rationalizes this, because this is the thing that David Shurter does about everything that he tries to not take responsibility for. This is what's behind David Shurter. There's no acceptability. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility for what he did to his dog. Here.
Allowed to go home. We had to set up because it was Easter banquet the next day. So we set all that up. So I hadn't slept in over 36 hours. My manager sent me home because I was losing it, because I wasn't dealing well without the sleep. So when I come home, I stupidly put my puppy in the kitchen thinking she would be safe there. She couldn't get into any trouble, because I knew I was going to be working a lot because I was a banquet waiter. And I was at work for 36 hours with heavy manual labor. So when I came home, she had fucking torn up the entire kitchen floor. And I flipped. But it was the one and only time, And to be quite honest, I was yelling at her.
It wasn't the one and only time. It wasn't the only time he had beat his dog. He had beat his dog previous to this, and he writes it in his book. In the beginning, I was unfortunately quite abusive with her, and a rambunctious puppy. She often found herself in trouble and having severe problems with anger. I'd often smack her with my hands or kick her, even while wearing shoes, ignoring her flinches. It all came to a head when I almost killed her. It was Easter weekend, and I'd worked 15 hours, gone home to sleep 5 hours, only to return to work another 18 hours. Tearing down and setting up banquet after banquet, I was beyond tired, and to the point of near dementia. So a coworker who was on the verge of becoming a friend gave me a ride home. When we walked into my apartment and I saw that Sarah had basically destroyed my kitchen, having dug up and chewed most of the linoleum to pieces, I flipped out, beating her severely in front of my friend, never once considering how it made me look. Later, I discovered a huge knot on her head, as large as I was surprised I hadn't killed her. Declaring this to be the last time, I vowed myself that I would never touch her again. But at work, the damage had already been done. So it wasn't the only time.
And slapping her, and then she growled at me, and I got mad at her and put her up, and fuck, I could have killed her. It was the last time I ever touched my puppy, and she was a brand new puppy, and I was losing it. And the problem is that I had coworkers with me who saw it. It was, but that's what they have found with all these fucking investigators. What's fucking next? Maybe I push someone down in elementary school. Is that going to be fucking next? Because this shit all happened 31 years ago. 31 years ago. But then the whole thing about my dogs, the fact that they're saying that I'm raping my dogs weirds me out in a way, because they are using inordinate amounts.
I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, David. That's what you're saying your neighbor's doing. And, someone from Thomas Schoenberger's camp, probably, I think it's Johnny Dubb, is saying something like that to you. You're getting emails about that I'm not associated with. What we're talking about is the fact that you beat your puppy and you write about it in your own book. That is what we're talking about, David.
Butter. So the fucking the meth head Oompa Loompa and the Mexican Munchkin, are they coming over and fucking sexually abusing my dogs? Because that's what they're accusing me of. And I find the thought disgusting.
The rationale that because somebody else is accusing him of doing that to his dogs, he is now thinking that they must be doing it because he's getting accused by it. So what is that? I mean, why do you think that? Like everything is just another projection onto him?
But the thought had to come from somewhere,
Yeah, I think it came from your own head, David.
And so they are all upset with me. And yeah, I probably am spitting. My allergies.
Why wouldn't we be upset with you? You're lying about us and calling us Nazi child traffickers, and you're abusing us on the internet. You're abusing me on the internet, David. You abuse your mother on the internet. You abuse your stepmother on the internet. You've beat your dog before. That indicates your character, and you don't even take responsibility for it. That's what we're pointing out here. This is your character. This is your mind. This is the way you think. You lack empathy. You lack accountability. You don't care about what you say about people, and you don't care what your sources are, and you don't care if it's true or not. You don't care. And you think you're entitled, and you think heaven has given you permission, wants you to talk about us.
Because it's harvest season now. Shit, my sinuses. My mouth goes from just, it's been awful. I think it's the whole reason why Iowa is #1 in cancer, because of all this shit that goes on with harvesting in the spring and in the fall. Anyway, so that's what I have. The reason why they can't find anything on me is because, truth be known, when I was in high school, when I was growing up as a kid, all the way up, and let me say that this shit happened when I was 27. It was 31 years ago when I was 27 years old.
So 27 is 3 years away from 30. All right. 27 is not a tween. It's a you're full on past 25. Your car insurance went down. Come on, man.
That's the shit that they're talking about now. But then it doesn't work have for years, they've gone on and on and on about how I molested my fucking nephews as an adult when they were children. But one is only 3 years younger than I am, and one is only 8 years younger than I am. And now that doesn't work anymore. So now it was about my dogs. Now I'm concerned that they're fucking molesting my dogs. And the fact that I have to live like this is fucking bullshit.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what you think.